All right. So I've been thinking a lot, and I wanted to share some things. Basically, I wanted to talk today. Praise God. Praise, respect God, and praise the Creator Almighty. So anyhow, today I was thinking about pranayama and what it is. I've done I've done a speech on pranayama before, and basically talking about how yoga is deeper than anything we know. So, pranayama, you could start with descriptions. Pranayama is a strange thing. It's it's said in Ayurveda that the nostril is the gateway to the mind. So your moods, your emotions, everything, which is ruled by the mind. And of course, the science goes very deep because what is the brain, right? Or what is you? Science tells us that you come from a series of white and gray matter up in this little box on the top of our bodies. And that's who we are. And, you know, matter arises consciousness because of the fact that the cell, it's just all a mystery, but somehow science is faulty in its notions because it has worsened the situation instead of improved the situation of the human population. Depression levels are constantly increasing. So is frustration and other negative emotions in our society. So I don't know what is going on, but I just wanted to share a couple of things about Ayurveda and pranayama. So what is pranayama? As you can see, I have a pretty bad headache. I've been basically sitting in the desert, like Jesus on the cross. But thankfully, I have food and water and other things. But yeah, it just feels like being hung to dry, like a towel, Mr. Towel from South Park, right? So anyhow, let's talk about pranayama. So there's different winds in the body, right? There's five, I believe, winds: Udan, Apan, which I have been really meditating on the last couple of days. Udan and Apan. What are they? What is it all about? So Udan is the upward moving wind, and that means the wind, for example, that comes from the foothills up to the mountains where I'm at right now. In the middle of, so I'm between the foothills of the mountain, and I'm between Mount Baldy, which is a bit of a plateau of sorts, a small little village area, which is on flat ground and has been developed for the purpose of settlement of humans. So anyhow, or humans that are a part of regular society. Thank you, Glenn. So Udana is a force that moves wind upwards in the body. The forces, it controls forces such as flatulence. No, sorry, that's the downward moving force. The upward wind is obviously the belching force, the force of eliminating poisons, um, the force of creativity, speech. Speech comes from that sub dosha of Vata, the wind. And yeah, so what I was trying to say is that oh shit. Udan is the upward moving force, okay? It is the force that encourages action, because action is an upward moving thing. You're not feeling heavy, you're feeling light when you want to spring, Mr. Springy, right? Jumpy, so forth. So the upward moving force is called Udan. And then there's the downward moving force. The reason I've been thinking of it is because I've been meditating on the benefits and risks of Ayurvedic smoking. And my mom doesn't like this, but hey, life is meant to be experimented and lived. Not a, I'm a leader, I'm not a follower. So anyhow, that's the upward moving force, creativity. So you can look up the details of it. I'm just trying to describe a little thing that I realized. Then there's a downward moving force, which is the force of elimination, the force of gas going out, the force of movement downwards, the force of sleep, heaviness, retirement. It's like the duality of the world, the two forces, which has been corrupted probably, I don't know. It's supposed to be a 6-pointed star, I don't know, whatever that means, the above and so below. But so there's the upward moving force, which I'm in the middle of. That's why, thankfully, I'm not. I'm kind of detoxing a little bit, but unfortunately, I have to smoke just because it's so fucking polluted here, dusty as fuck. But anyhow, so I'm in the middle of the upward moving force. That's called Udan. And then there's a downward moving force, Apan, the force of elimination. Mentally, it's the force of lethargy, of restorative regeneration, you see? Or, elimination of negative things, basically, right? So Udan is affected when you breathe inwards, because you see the air is kind of rising inward, upward to come in. Then you have the Apan when you're exhaling. Okay? So this is the power of meditation, the power of mind. You use your nostrils, which are the gateways to the mind, and you can alter your mood just through them. Okay? You can alter your mood through your nostrils by consciously regulating your breathing. It's called conscious breathing. And basically it involves, according to the theory, the interplay of these two forces, the upward and the downward force, which is basically all of philosophy. Then there's other forces. There's a sideways force. There's the circulating force. Sorry, I should probably do it with my fingers instead of my head. So this is the circulating force, right? This is the force of circulation. Heart is a main part of it. Exercise stimulates it because it gets everything kind of moving, So yeah, that's what's Udan, kind of like a exhaling smoke of some Mary Jane. Speaking of which, light up. Burn them pagans and them vampires. See how the reason pot smokers hold their smoke while they're inhaling. Damn. I need to get some tobacco. This is some flavored crap I picked up. Ugh. Probably poison. Ugh. Anyway. Thankfully I have a filter. So welcome to the mountain. I'm going to show you the views in a second. After I purify the airways. You see, now I was using the Apan. I'm holding my breath while the air is all out. That's strengthening Apan. Okay? Because I'm in an area where it's cannabis is good for that too, I've heard. I'm in an area where there's a lot of shit, a lot of upward moving air, and cars coming up, aggravating the shit out of me. But an hour of meditation, I'm all good.